Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Casper Network, or Casper. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, I do want to specifically mention real quick before we do fully jump on into this video that when we are talking about Casper right now, I do also want to just put a spotlight on, you should all go watch my video from earlier today where I was talking about Bitcoin and this entire crypto market. Because I do think that that is a clear, video to give you guys a little bit of a better picture on what we should be focusing on right now. Casper definitely does look great, but I do think that we have, an opportunity to buy this at some lower prices. Now, when this initially started to break out, I did mention, hey, make sure that you aren't just FOMOing in just because we started to break out. I told you guys, we will most likely retest some levels. Ultimately speaking, on the 3-month span, you guys can see where we came down to test. This is not a good support zone to even, call a support zone. I would say that we'll most likely come down and test about like 8.5 cents or somewhere within that range, and we'll talk about this more so at the end of this video and really kind of address those support zones. Now, today we did see a specific update. We've seen the 1.4.5 upgrade on the mainnet. This is actually very bullish. We see here we're looking forward to a series of dApps taking full advantage of the significant enhancement to the network. Release notes can be found here, and we actually see them here. So here is a full update to it. So key milestones for the current 1.4.5 release to mainnet: engineering completion March 1st, 2022, testnet March 17th, 2022, and then the mainnet was April 4th, 2022, or today. Now here are the key changes for the core security updates to be announced, I suppose. But we do see here, limit the tree leaf size to a max of 8 megabytes. The soon to be introduced fast sync feature slated for version 1.5.0 heavily depends on the tri-leaf chunking mechanism. In order to download the global state database from multiple peers, a fast syncing node will require the individual elements of the tree known as tree leaves. If any requested leaf is larger than 8 megabytes, it will be chunked due to limitation of network messages sizes. This affects how individual tree leaves are permanently identified. Basically, this is just talking about demand overall of the network and how they are going to be utilizing this. But ultimately, when we are talking about the major updates, this is ultimately just going to give us a clearer path for dApps and just overall development updates along the way. Now, they do have a roadmap. I don't know if their roadmap is actually fully updated, so they actually do have a fully updated one. So here we have, the 2.0 plan as well. You guys could go look throughout this entire thing and really kind of see where they are in terms of development. I'm actually very excited for the next major, mainnet update. If you guys were not aware of that, that is 1.5.0. We actually see here, update 1.4.5 is live on the Casper Network mainnet. This release contains some important security updates and getting things ready for the major 1.5.0 release, which will make the network 10 times more efficient. That's exactly why I am focused on the 1.5.0 release. That's going to be very good for the network ultimately, especially if we are talking about like dApps and things like that for efficiency of developers and also utility cases on Casper. I'm very excited for that. I'm watching that specifically as we do kind of march forward on in time. But ultimately, I do think that this is very good to see, considering the fact that when we are talking about, just network development in general, it's always great to continue seeing, improvements of a network like Casper. Now, we also see here, the Casper ecosystem after 1 year, so much going on within Casper Network right now. Lots of exciting projects about to go live, and the huge 1.4.5 upgrade on April 4th, which did happen today. Exciting times. And as you guys do see, building on Casper, there's a ton of projects. Tolling explorers and oracles, partners, gaming NFTs, validator staking pools. Like, there's so much happening on Casper right now. It's absolutely insane, to say the least, that we are still at these prices that we've seen, going back as far as like 2021, the summertime as well. Like, it's honestly insane when we're looking at the chart as well. Like, this really kind of prints a picture on where we are headed. I'm very excited, to say the least, for the future of Casper in terms of price action, but also development-wise. But we do see, this is sitting at number 159 currently. And with everything happening on this ecosystem, with all of the use cases happening, I'm very excited, to say the least, not only for, the future price of Casper, but also, I'm excited to see more listings happening for Casper. I'm excited to see, more projects going live. I'm just ultimately very excited to see, continuous work being done to the network, and of course them continuing to build out. Now, talking about a specific use case that I was actually very excited about, Metacask. So, Metacask is actually pretty interesting. I told you guys, like, this is the marketplace for whiskey with NFTs. Now, this actually drops tomorrow. This goes live tomorrow. We do see, congratulations, Casper Network, Casper Labs, on the upgrade of Mainnet to 1.4.5. Looking forward to launching our first auction tomorrow. Make sure you are verified to participate. Now, with this, we actually have a full-on, case study. So there's actually a ton of case studies within the Casper network. You guys could go read this on, I believe it's Casper Labs. But we do see here, the world's first digital marketplace for premium whiskey cask investment. How Casper Labs helped Metacask unlock a new digital marketplace. Now, again, when we're talking about NFTs, we know this is a growing area currently within this market, specifically even within Web3. But NFTs have been, for the most part, being adopted at a mass scale, and also they have been taking over at a mainstream sort of level. Now, we do see here our ambition is to build a world-class NFT platform that appeals to both the new generation of whiskey enthusiasts and established investors. Casper Labs was the clear choice for the partnership by working with an exceptional team and a blockchain network that is high performance, secure, and astoundingly energy efficient. We're now even more confident in our ability to deliver a marketplace to NFT investors that will increasingly value quality above all else. I don't need to tell you guys how large the spirits industry is. It's absolutely massive. I think that this is a great way to, really see, more value being unlocked through technology like this. But also, you guys do see the challenges here, and you guys can see how they helped, how to modernize the sale and ownership of high-end whiskey cask, how to provide trusted proof of provenance, possession and value, how to meet regulatory requirements in this restricted market, and of course, how to ensure the scalability of new digital marketplace. And then, of course, you do see how we helped. This is like a seamless experience, similar to like staking with Casper as well. Like, it's all seamless. It's very easy. Like, this is very exciting to see, because this also does lower the client's go-to-market cost through Casper, and you guys do see why Casper Labs at the bottom, secure and scalable digital platform for the future growth, multi-auction mechanics and multilingual support, bidder/seller real-time know your customer verification checks, full regulatory compliance, seamless user experience as well. And also, this is not the only case study. We also seen D Music being released as well. Like, I'm very excited for D Music to go live. Again, there's many areas of focus from Casper in terms of the NFT market, and I'm very excited to see these use cases go live fully on Casper. Now, let's talk about something pretty specific. Now, with all of this stuff happening, with all of these use cases going live on Casper, and when we're talking about Casper currently, like, there's still a lot of listings to really come to this space for Casper. Like, there's still a lot of top 10 specific markets like Coinbase, Binance, things like that, to really list Casper. I think that will happen as we do continuously see development happening and use cases going live, as well as like these NFT projects really launching as well. Like, there's still a lot more to really kind of be unlocked through Casper, more so like even DeFi opportunities and things like that. But let's talk about price, because as we do see, like, the current volume on Casper is $17.9 million. There's not much volume at all moving through Casper. Now, let's talk about, when we do see a lot more volume flowing and how high we can go. So first off, when we are talking about the current, overall chart, we do clearly see that resistance being met at around like almost 10 cents. Now, we currently have this bottoming point. I would say that this is a pretty strong support zone now at about like 9 cents. If you want to buy under 10 cents, I would say, pay attention to see if Bitcoin does have a slight pullback today or tomorrow. This could give us a little bit of a better buy opportunity, maybe even buy support at around like 8.5 cents roughly. Like, I would say like this range here is a pretty good, area to buy. It could come down as far as like almost, testing these major lows down here at about almost 8 cents exact. So again, just pay attention to that. But I think that our time to buy under 10 cents is getting very, very limited. I actually just said this in the Discord as well. But realistically speaking, the major choice here is, do you want to FOMO in when we start to break out, or do you want to get in before the breakout? Because, this has been starting to move fairly nice. But I really want to focus a shift on, Casper at our current level. So, currently almost 9.5 cents. This 236 area is key. In fact, if we do break out of this 236 area, I really do think that this is going to send it. And, this is very close to us. I mean, it's ultimately just like 10 cents. Once we do break out of 10 cents, that's an area to watch for, especially for Casper. Now, my Cspr targets for the end of this bull run have always been around $1. I really do think that this could easily hit $1 plus. I've seen target valuations like $5 plus. I've said myself $4 to $7 previously as well. I really do think that Casper has some high figure potential, and I want you all to make sure that you are paying attention right now to where Casper currently is in this market. I mean, we have a lot more things to go live. We know that Casper is ranging into DeFi, and as we are seeing a lot more development happening, we are kind of sitting stable at some pretty low figures compared to, the past prices, but also, right now to the, high that we just made recently, it's over a 2x. So again, there's still a lot of money to be made here. I would say at even like the higher fib levels, like talking about like, the 4236 and the 4618, like these are like 84 to 91 cents. Now, again, these are going off of like the current high that we're going off of. But if we go off of like the dollar range and things like that, because we know Casper, so let's go to the overview real quick. So we know Casper has a high of about $1.36 from what they could really kind of utilize in terms of price data. So let's go to $1.36. So this is also why I do think that when we're talking about, where this could really go in terms of outreaches, like look at some of these high fib outreaches that Casper could go to. So again, I always love that 4236 and that 4618. This is also why I've always said $4 to $7, by the way. At the high here, it would be $5.58 to about $6. That is significant. Okay? I mean, we're talking about from our current levels, okay? So again, current levels to like the 4618, okay? Or the 4236, sorry, is 5,500%. Now to the topping point here, 6,000% of an increase in price. That is something that's insane, especially going off of this current structure here. This actually wasn't even on the bottom structure here. So 6,300% of an increase in price. Now, you do see where we could lead to on the next major breakout event. Of course, we are still targeting that 10-cent zone. But, I mean, look at the massive outreaches that this has. I mean, this is also why I've always said, make sure to look at the macro view here on this. $4 to $7 is something that's life-changing, especially from here. I mean, like, when we're talking about, the upside ROI potential, I mean, this is insane. Like, this is a 40x to roughly 71x. Okay? Now, if we're just going off of that $6 range, I mean, we're still looking at a 61x in terms of price appreciation. Now, again, is that top fib level something to really kind of go off of, that $1.36 level? I mean, it's not like the best price data area, I will say that. It is an area that we did wick to. It's also an area that we did hit in the past. But, realistically speaking, how solid of a level is that to kind of go off of? It is something that is a little questionable. But, I will say this. If we do hit that $4 to $7 range, it's going to be something very monumental, especially for those individuals that are holding right now. I mean, it's massive gains, especially off of those bottom figures. Like if you guys were buying, back at the lows of roughly, like 5 cents, I mean, you're looking at a lot more ROI potential there. I mean, you're looking at over 100x opportunities. So again, with that being said, pay attention to Casper closely, especially if you are a hodler. Pay attention to the fundamentals. Pay attention to updates that are being pushed. If you guys do want to know my exit plans and stuff like that, you guys can go check out NCashOfficial.com. Of course, the best deal for your buck is the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack. That does include all the content on the website as well as all future content for free. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.